So, I was not going to post something today, but just got the phone with my daughter-in-law. Oh my gosh, I really am bold. Yikes, I am just losing my hair. Oh my lord. Oh, where was I? My daughter-in-law says she's looking forward to my daughter today, and I'm like, well, I probably won't. Oof. So, my daughter-in-law, who won't be at the Seder with us, her husband, my son, is actually serving. So, he's going to be helping other soldiers with their Seder. So, shtickle interesting matzah this year. He thought it would be home, but either way, show must go on. So literally maybe a couple hours ago, I was going through the Sefer Shalom, and there's a really interesting piece I think that's pretty hits home pretty hard. Usually the Star Torah would really be excellent, but this year, unfortunately, for many of us, all of us, I think, don't really need it, to be honest with you, because, well, Kiliyatz Mitzrayim, we have a mitzvah to put ourselves literally that we will leave Mitzrayim. And every year we really have a hard time understanding what is this. We're not slaves. We don't have slaves. And we're never in Mitzrayim. I think my daughter Tamar was in Mitzrayim. Someone tried to buy her because she's blonde and from camels or something. That didn't happen, which was good. Leave Mitzrayim. How do you do this? People dress up. People do a whole production at the Seder. Svardim walk around the table. Leave Mitzrayim. Okay, shkayach. We're never slaves. We're never Mitzrayim. How do you do this? And the Rambam has, well, you're supposed to look at the servants, look at the slaves, look at your cleaning lady, and you can kind of get an idea as best as you can. But again, Kilu Yatz Mitzrayim, it tells you that you're supposed to literally. You left Mitzrayim. And again, it's not a zecher. This is not a zecher. This is not to remember something that happened thousands of years ago. This is something that Chol Dar V'Dar says it a couple times. And right before we say Hallel, we say this, that you have to look at yourself like you left Mitzrayim. And again, each year we have a problem really. Can't imagine what this Geula looks like, what it feels like. Unfortunately, this year, we don't really have to try so hard because we're feeling it. We're really feeling it. Those people that either know people in Columbia or NYU or Princeton or Yale, Harvard, or people in Midtown or on the subway, unfortunately, you get out of the subway, you kind of feel like you dodged a bullet. You literally feel like you had a geula. You really feel this. You feel this on every day. And those of us in Eretz Yisrael, I know personally, I had this feeling Saturday night, Sunday morning. I was supposed to leave to America early Sunday morning, and Motzei Shabbos, flights are canceled. The rockets are on their way, and there's this weird feeling that you have a couple hours, we really have no idea what's going to take place. And we actually felt this on Shabbos, that the rumors were taking place, and we really didn't know. Maybe half the houses will be messed up, maybe my neighbors, maybe my house. Are we ready in the mamad? Again, this is our storage room. There's water. You got drums. You have Rav Hutner on the wall. The internet. This is our room. Are we good enough? Are we? Yeah. This weird feeling, and then all of a sudden, went to sleep. The flights were canceled, so I went to sleep about 2ish. Got up at 5:30. And it was quiet. Everything was kind of normal. Up the hill, they heard sirens. We went to sleep. Literally, the geula. We felt a geula. I really felt that in our lifetime, we really felt that Hashem brought us out from Shiva to geula, literally from horrible matzav until freedom. You look up on ChatGPT how many nations have ever survived 300 rockets and missiles and had almost no damage. Unprecedented, really, that this happens. So we don't have to really think hard and long to make ourselves feel like we had a geula. We really had this just this past week. In the past 6 months, there have been stories as far as situations where soldiers were saved and these crazy situations that happened. And we feel this, unfortunately, today. But the Sefer Shalom has something very different. where we know we have this concept, the Medrash says that all Jews were at Har Sinai. We know Nitzavim, Nitzavto, that we stood by Har Sinai. We have this website, Soyu at Sinai, all the Jews, all the Neshamas were Har Sinai. And the Sefer Shalom says it's not just Har Sinai, it's also this Indian of Nitzavim that took place going to Eretz Yisrael, and an Indian of Nitzavim of Kriyas Yamsuf and leaving Mitzrayim and Yetzias Mitzrayim. And this idea that it's not just they left Mitzrayim and our grandfathers and great-grandfathers, they were Mitzrayim and we have to listen to our fathers and grandfathers because they were close to Mitzrayim. No, it's really us. Every neshama that was born, will be born, that is alive in Mitzrayim, they were there, and it includes us. 3,000 years later, our neshamas were in Mitzrayim, and we actually were in Mitzrayim, and we left Mitzrayim. So as far as remembering something in the past, that's not the case. El Mutzion Mitzrayim. Bilam says, this nation Hashem is taking them out. We're in a constant state of leaving Mitzrayim. We're leaving Mitzrayim every year. We have an Indian of leaving Mitzrayim. And we have to feel this way. And the Sefer Shalom says, our neshama feels this way, but our bodies don't. And literally we have to kind of wake up to the fact that all Klal Yisrael, we had a klal, the Jews left Mitzrayim, and we left Mitzrayim. And that includes everything. It includes shibud, a physical shibud. It includes a spiritual. We weren't able to even verbalize our issues. There's no vaidaber. The people could only cry. Vayanchu, they were sighing. They were crying out. They couldn't even talk. They were so in shibud. Their mouths, they couldn't even complain. They had no idea how to even verbalize tefillah. They had no idea how to verbalize their pain. It was just sickness and crying, just a sighing and just a malaise that took place in this heavy shibud. And hopefully we get some of that tonight. Not the malaise part, but the sense that we are leaving Mitzrayim and the fact that we have a geula. And hopefully we get this feeling in the middle of Magid as we're talking about the Gnus, going to the Shevach, that we have this geula. And hopefully we have a real geula in the Klal. Hopefully next year we'll be able to go to Eretz Yisrael and have the Korban Pesach and all that goes with it. Erev Pesach is actually a very sad day because we really could have had this crazy day. Erev Pesach was literally the craziest day because you had hundreds of thousands, even millions of Jews that had to have a piece of Korban Pesach. So we're talking about crazy balagan, animals, blood, just a crazy day because you only have a couple hours from the Talmud to the other Talmud to do the Korban. So you had a crazy system, the Gemara describes, where you had different lines and different stations and just blood going across and slaughtering going across. And it was a crazy balagan, but that was Pesach. That was Pesach. We miss it. That's one of the reasons why the Becharim fast, because this is the day that the Becharim were really supposed to work. If not for the Egel, this was the busiest day of the year for the Beis HaMikdash and the Mishkan. This was supposed to be the day. Unfortunately, it's not. So there's a fast for the Becharim. So that's kind of another idea as far as what we're missing and what we hope to strive for is being close to Hashem with Karbanos, being close to each other. We know that this is the only mitzvah that not only is celebrated in groups, ideally with a group and a pair, in a group, we want to be close to the klal. We're separate, but we're also part of a klal. It's also the only chag, maybe the only mitzvah, that there's a second date for it. If you don't light candles for Hanukkah because you're on a plane somewhere, you can't extend your Hanukkah 8 days. And if you don't eat a sukkah for a couple of days because you're traveling or there's no sukkah, you don't do this a month later. Hanukkah, Shavuos, Yom Kippur. Oh, you know what? You missed Yom Kippur. You ate on Yom Kippur. Next month, do it. Pesach is literally the only mitzvah, maybe, and the only chag that there's a second chance for it. And I was learning this literally last night with my son as praying for his bar mitzvah. It's so important, Pesach. It's so important not to forget of nature of the world, because we kind of forget the sun comes up, sun goes down, grass is growing, birds, all that stuff. We kind of forget. These are all miracles. And each day is a miracle. And each day there's a mitzvah to remember Mitzrayim, each merit creation, because it's crazy. Hashem made the whole world do crazy things in Mitzrayim, and every day we have to kind of tap into that. And therefore, if you miss Pesach because you're traveling, or because you weren't bar mitzvah yet, or you weren't a Jew, you're a Megayer, do it a month later. It's so important not to forget and to remember Mitzrayim and the Gula can come from the lowest level, the lowest, deepest level, levels that we're not, those people listening, we're not on that level ever. We'll never get to the Mem Tashar Tuma where we're doing Avodah Zarah and no mitzvos. At worst, we do some Averos by mistake. Sometimes the Yetzer Hara gets the better of us, but we have Tefillin, we have Torah, we have Shabbos. So we're not even there. And Hashem did that for them because the love Hashem had for these people. At the 49th level, definitely we have to have hope and the emunah that Hashem will have a geula for us. And hopefully we remember those lessons and we have a great Chag and Chag Sameach.